No, you don't have to do it yet. We're not recording it. We're not recording the audio.
I'm just clapping for our efforts.
Hi, everybody. It's Erin.
And Meg.
And welcome back to the Love You Mean It YouTube channel.
We're so excited to be doing a YouTube channel. Every episode, we're going to post a video of us recording so you guys can either watch or listen to us.
Yeah, and you guys can get a real behind the scenes of how horrifically ugly we look.
Yeah.
You can literally see these two huge breakouts from space.
Right.
I'm drinking it's water, but there's like a little bit of iced tea, so it literally looks like literal urine.
I'm drinking a black cherry Truly right now.
Just kind of the day it's been.
I have some other like seltzers in the freezer right now because I want them to get cold. This one's pretty cold, but I'm going to be opening it on the podcast episode to give you a little ASMR.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.
But like we just said, we upload every single week. We post every single day here. Well, this is a bonus episode, so you guys are getting some premium content. Our last bonus episode, we didn't even know yet that we were doing like the YouTube channel, so it's completely over a graphic, and Meg reminded me how lame that is, and so we're recording it. So you guys get to really see behind the scenes, what we're up to, how we're jamming. You can come back to the Love You Mean It YouTube channel, hit the notification bell. I feel like a real YouTuber.
I know, right?
Hit the notification bell if you'd like, so that you can stay tuned if you wanted to see when we upload. We upload every single Monday, like 100% at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and sometimes Thursdays, as you're watching today. So really hope you guys enjoy. I mean, if you don't want to turn on notifications, you can follow us on Instagram at Love You Mean It Podcast, because we always announce there when we're going to, my hand just like flopping around. We always announce there when we're going to be doing bonus episodes, and we're really excited to have you here. Thanks for following the SEO tags we did. If this is your first video, welcome. We're hoping to do more kind of vlogs and like other content in the future. I feel like that could be really fun. But I guess without further ado, we'll just get into it.
All right, we'll be right back with the episode.
And better audio. Hi everybody, it's Erin.
And Meg.
And welcome back to this week's episode of the Love You Mean It podcast.
We're so excited. This week we are doing a highly requested episode. It is girl boss culture and hustle culture.
I have never seen, like, obviously in the past, like, people have been, like, pretty excited or like passionate about the topics that we've done, but I have never seen such intense, passionate responses in my life than when it comes to hustle culture and girl boss culture. Thank you guys so much for everyone that participated in the polls. Normally, obviously, Meg does Instagram, but I kind of took the wheel. Am I okay?
The reins, you mean?
Yeah, the reins. I took the reins this time, and I did the polls because Meg was at work, but I really wanted to get everybody's input, and you guys really delivered. We have never gotten more responses than we have, and more like DMs and just paragraphs. So we really thank you guys for giving in your just input and everything. And I'm pretty closely as passionate about this as everybody else. Yeah. We feel like Meg and I had a lot of the more controversial opinions, I would say, I guess, when it comes to this topic. So we're really excited to just talk about it with you guys.
Yeah, but before we get into the actual content of this episode, we are going to do everyone's favorite segment, our only segment. Every week we talk about what we're loving this week because we are the Love You Mean It podcast, but we also talk about what we're hating. What am I hating?
You said you were hating. Oh my god, fuck.
I don't think you wrote it down.
Oh, your allergies.
Oh yeah. This week I'm hating my allergies. At first I thought I was getting COVID, but I don't think I have COVID. I just have like a stuffy nose, sore throat, like itchy eyes, so it's definitely allergies. But yeah, I'm just kind of over it. Like, I hate getting sick, and like especially now I'm like so paranoid. Like every time I have like a little like twinge in my throat, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. So yeah, it's not really good for like hypochondriacs. There's like that meme though that like that's like, is it a cold, is it the flu, is it COVID, is it allergies? Yeah, it's really hard to tell because a lot of the symptoms overlap.
But I mean, like, obviously, like, with COVID, people have gotten, like, conjunctivitis or, like, like they've gotten that. But,
some, like, weird symptoms.
But I feel like when it comes to, like, actually, like, blowing your nose and itching your eyes, that's when it comes to allergies, especially now. If you guys don't know, we live in New England. We're from Connecticut, and it was like 72 today, and then the day before it was like 60. So that like crazy jump in temperature definitely has something to do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely think that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and also too, like, I usually get sick or have some sort of like sinus issue whenever the seasons change. I'm like really sensitive to that. I don't know why.
So am I.
So like, I guess because it's now fall, do you remember the 21st night of September?
That's tonight.
That's tonight, baby. It's not the night that you guys are watching this, but you know, we're just very excited. We love Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess it's like time, but I just am not really feeling it, particularly in this moment during this pandemic. What are you hating, Erin?
So I'm excited to talk about this because I didn't really tell Meg because I wanted to save it for the podcast. But obviously recently, like, I've talked about it on the podcast before, but like I've just been on like Bumble and Hinge and things like that. I really hope he's listening. He knows that I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't told him I have a podcast. But probably by the time, so we're recording this on Monday, but probably by the time that this goes up on Thursday, we'll be done talking. So it's okay. What I'm hating this week is our unsolicited dick pics. Yeah, so basically I like started talking to this guy. I'm like telling Meg, but I'm also telling you guys, I guess. But,
yeah, you guys are getting the first scoop. She refused to tell me before this. So.
Well, no, but like I just hate, like, I don't want to, I mean, you can agree, like, we're like the same. I don't want to talk about anything unless it's like either funny and like / good content, or like if it's actually going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't really have the feeling that this was actually going to go anywhere, so I was like, oh, I'm just not going to talk about it unless it's funny right now. So basically I started today's Monday. Yeah. I started talking to this guy, I think literally yesterday, like Saturday night, like Sunday morning, and me scrolling through like dating apps while I was watching a documentary about people that get murdered on dating apps. And so met this guy. It was great. It was fine. First red flag. No offense to everybody, but he's a Libra.
Oh yeah, we don't do Libras in this house.
I'm an Aquarius.
Sorry.
Obviously, like I don't. Like we've talked about on the podcast too, that like I don't really like, I'm not going to live my life by astrology, but I am going to be very hesitant. And I know, and I have not gotten along with Libras. Even though Libras and Aquarius are compatible, I have not necessarily compatible, but they do well together. I have not gotten along with Libras in the past. Yeah. And also Libras are very, I know this, are hypersexual, especially guys. Yeah. They're just like really like out there.
Me like
red flag. But yeah, we started talking. He's a few years older than me. He's an optician, so interesting. I was telling him about how I was wearing my blue light glasses and how like I try not to wear them that much because like they ruin my like, because I heard they ruin your eyesight if you're not like looking at. Well, I read, like, I've heard from a few people that like you shouldn't wear blue light glasses just like normally, just like when you're driving or like just living your life, because like it could ruin your eyesight. And I said that to him and he was like, why don't you ask an optician? And I was like, oh fuck. And he was like, he literally sent me a picture. He was like, I'm wearing them right now. He was like, I wear them all the time. It doesn't affect your eyesight. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, vibes.
That's good to know. Anyways, but
wait, what's the difference between an optician and an ophthalmologist?
Well, I think that's like, an optician more is just like physically with the glasses. An ophthalmologist is more like
with your actual eyeball.
And like a doctor, like he's more like works with the actual glasses. Okay. And so like talking, having a great time. Like I said, it was only one day, but it was like kind of that thing where like you start texting and you're literally going back and forth like all day. And then like it came up, everybody knows, this is kind of what sparked me posting on Instagram and asking if anybody wanted to talk about virginity again, because it came up that I was a virgin. T. Okay. But he was like really hesitant about it. He was like, I don't know, like I feel bad like doing that. And I was like, okay, like whatever. And then not that I felt bad about that. I don't want to really talk about that too much here because like I want to hopefully maybe do an episode in the future and talk more about it, because I wasn't necessarily embarrassed, but I was kind of like felt like that had an effect. And so I was like, okay, like whatever. But he would like, it was literally like 2 days of us talking, and I'm an Aquarius, so I'm literally going off in this intro segment, sorry, but I'm not really the most like, what's the word, affectionate person, or more like, oh my god, I love
sensual.
You. Like he was like, he was like, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm watching the Patriots game with my roommate and her boyfriend. And he was like, oh, like, would we go on a double date? And I was like, I was like,
if you talk about the future to Erin, she gets really anxious.
No, but it's like, it's not even that. Like, I feel like I've really worked on that, but it's like, we've been talking for 24 hours.
Also, I'm not letting some rando into my house that I don't know, like, what their social distancing things have been.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, not even that, but I'm like, these are like, I don't know. I feel like I'm way too open and being like, oh my God, meet my friends. Like, I love them so much. Like, because my friends are such a big part of me, and like, especially my family, that I've done that in the past. And I'm like, you don't just get to meet them. Like, these are two people that are like really important to me. Like, I'm not just gonna like invite you over. And then like, he said, like, made a comment that I seemed like indifferent to him.
You're an Aquarius.
Even
though we don't live by astrology.
I'll explain more off the episode. But if you guys want like a virginity episode, we could talk about that. But I woke up this morning. I woke up like at 7, and then I made myself go back to bed. I slept in, whatever, and like, basically, I did not ask for it. He literally asked me if he could send one. And I mean, like,
at least he like asked your
that's
permission.
What I'm saying. So I feel bad saying unsolicited, but like, it was 9:30 in the morning on a Monday, and I was like, I'm not really in the vibe. I just woke up. I just peeled my eyes open. I put on my blue light glasses and checked my phone.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just like...
Wait, I want to see it. Did you save it, or was it a Snapchat?
No, I deleted the thread because I was so uncomfortable.
Why didn't you show it to me? Am I okay?
No, but...
I think it was just slurring. Sorry, I'm really tired.
No, but like, I should have. But like, I just like... I literally was Googling it after, and I was like, why do guys like get like so... I was like, why do guys get like so turned on by like sending people dick pics?
Okay.
But it's like... But like, me and him had a conversation about it after, and I was like, I'm not saying that like I would never send pictures in the future or anything, and like, it's not saying that I haven't sent them to people before, but I was like, my guy, it has been 24 hours. What is happening?
Well, I don't know. I think it's like, I don't really like want dick pics per se, but like, if I'm gonna have sex with someone, I want to know like what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
So like, because I've just had sex with guys before and been like really disappointed, or like their dick is like uncircumcised, or like there's something like that, and it just kind of like throws you off, and you have to like keep your cool in the moment. So like, I recommend, like, if you can, like, if you know for a fact like you're gonna sleep with someone, maybe just like get a dick pic beforehand. They'll probably just give it to you anyway.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm not offended because it was like pretty big.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Like,
good. Okay.
And it was like a good picture, but I was just like, my guy, it is 9:30 in the morning, but I don't really know if I'm gonna continue talking to him because like, I'll tell Meg more off screen, but that's just kind of what I'm hating this week, is just like waking up at 9:30 a.m. on a Monday morning and getting a dick pic on my phone. I was like, bro, I'm on my way to Starbucks. Like, I'm getting a cold brew.
No,
like,
I mean, I get that. It's kind of just like a lot.
Also, we all know I'm a virgin, so
yeah.
I'm like, I just told him that yesterday, so.
He sends a dick pic. He's like, look at this dick.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I'm like, I've seen one.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Guys are just dumb with dick pics. And like, I kind of get like why, because I feel like a lot of people like I've heard, like, myself included, but I've heard like a lot of people say that like when you send nudes, it like makes you feel like good about yourself.
Yeah.
And especially if like your dick looks good in the picture and you're like, oh, like it, like, wow, that looks nice, or like, oh, like that's huge or whatever, like it's obviously, that's like their penis is like their literal pride and joy.
But like,
so if you respond well to that, you like respond to them well as like a human being.
See, but like, this is what I want to do, like another sex talk episode about, like talk more about virginity and like how I felt like telling him, but also I want to talk about like, how the fuck do you guys respond to a nude? How do, like, what do you say? I'm like, oh, like, good angle, good one.
Well, I don't know. I think like the really only way to respond to a nude is to like,
that's hot,
have like a literal sex thread.
I know.
That's like the only thing I can like think of. Like, I feel like I've never gotten like a real unsolicited dick picture. Like, I guess I have, but like usually it like comes from us like flirting first, or there being like some sort of like sexual undertone to things, and then like it escalates. Like I feel like it's not too often where like I literally just open my Snapchat and get flashed. Also, I don't use Snapchat anymore.
So like I guess I'm like I'm kind of using the improper term by saying unsolicited, because he did ask me, but I think it's more the principle of waking up at 9 a.m. and having somebody ask to send you one. It's kind of like when people ask for a hug and you're like,
no, I guess that makes it.
And you're
weird.
like, I can't say no, but I also really don't want to say yes. So you're
me just like send me a picture of your huge dick, just saying thinking of you.
Like that is
what a nice
is,
way to start your
funny,
morning.
But it's like like I know he wanted to be like nice and just like.
If you weren't a virgin, he probably would have just sent it and been like, here's my dick.
Yeah.
Like,
so
he probably felt bad, so he was like, should I ask? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
At least he has like some sort of like decency, I guess. I don't know.
So like I guess that's what I'm loving this week. Just kidding. But okay.
I'm really sad. I wanted to see his dick. I love seeing dick pics. Like I love when like someone gets a dick pic, or like when I was in the field, when I used to get a dick pic, I would literally show like anyone who would look at it and just be like, look at this guy's dick. And like we would literally have like a discussion about it. And I don't know, it's just funny. Like, I don't know.
No, but like I wish I'd saved it, but like I'm just the queen of like anytime like anybody says something that like makes me uncomfortable, or I'm like, what? I just like delete the thread so I can like pretend it didn't happen. I
just think guys kind of get confused because like they love receiving nudes so much.
I know, but
and then like they think that like it's probably like gonna be reciprocated, and like women loves getting nudes, and like some of you might like that's fine. Like
do we just record a sex episode after this?
I don't know, like if you're really like into someone, it's nice, but like if you're just like casually talking to them, I think it's like kind of, I don't know. Like,
I've had guys, like, text me out of the blue. Dante did this one time. Yeah. Literally that he wanted to put it in my ass. Like, it was just, like the sun was out. The sun was out. Like, I was, like, dusting my furniture. And he said that. I was like, thank you.
They just send you, like, random shit. Like, I've literally been, like, cooking before. And I've just gotten, like, literal texts or, like, dick pics or something. And I'm just like, okay.
I hadn't even wiped off my acne cream this morning.
Yeah.
And
no, I get it.
I already had a dick in my hand. But, like, I get... Oh, my God. We're literally going off. But I'm like, I get what he's trying... Like, where he's trying to go with this. Because, like, obviously, it's, like, COVID. Like, even if I did meet up with him, it wouldn't be for weeks. Which, like I said earlier, guys, probably next episode we record, he's going to be gone. I'll let you guys know. But, like, I don't know. Also, oh, my God. I don't... No, I'll just tell Meg that part off camera. Okay, no, never mind. I'll just tell you. This guy posted, like... on Hinge that like he's really good at like Harry Potter trivia, whatever. Okay. And I was like, oh, like I'm really bad at Harry Potter. Like so I was like I've read the books, but like I haven't seen like any of the movies. So I was like, I'd probably lose, whatever. And I'll probably end up cutting this out. And he was like, oh, we should do Harry Potter strip trivia.
Oh. Ew.
Sorry, I hit the unmatch button.
Yeah.
It was an accident. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm hating this week. We're literally 16 minutes in, and we haven't even talked about what we're loving, so let's get on to that. What are you loving this week? Mayfair.
What I'm loving this week is Mayfair, and if you guys don't know what Mayfair is, it's like a clothing company. They're on Instagram. They also have like the cutest Instagram. Like if you look at their like graphics and stuff they post, they're just adorable. But they have like really cute loungewear. And so I ordered a sweatshirt from there. I've literally been looking at this sweatshirt for 6 months. But the reason I didn't...
Speaking of...
Ew. The reason I didn't buy it was because it was $98. Like, all their sweatshirts are $98.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I couldn't justify spending $98 on a sweatshirt. But I had, like, a conversation with John's sister, Jess. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Jess. We love you.
We love you, sis. But, so we were talking about how, like, now, in these unprecedented times.
I love when you say that.
It's actually, like, kind of an investment piece, like, to buy, like, really good loungewear.
Oh, 100%.
Because, like, you're not, like, going out as much. Like, you just want to be comfortable and stuff. So, like, I actually was like, okay, like, I can, like, justify this purchase. And also they were having a 20% off sale, which, like, they literally never do. So I was like, okay, let me just do it. And some of you, like, might have seen it on Instagram because, like, I've seen it on, like, ads and stuff. But that's probably because I was looking at it. but I don't know if y'all have seen it.
Well, yeah, but like I follow them too. I see them.
But it's just like a cute sweatshirt. It comes in 2 colors. I can like link it in the description box of this episode. But it's like, it says empathy, and like each letter is like a different color, and it's just like embroidered, like stitched. It looks so cute. And then it's just like a gray, like almost like whitey color. And then on the sleeve it says always, so it's like empathy always.
Aww.
And it's just really cute. Like, I don't know, I've just always liked that sweatshirt. And it comes in like this really pretty like bluey color, but like I don't really wear blue, as I'm like literally wearing blue.
You're wearing blue right
This
now.
is like literally the only blue sweatshirt that like I wear.
Same though.
But I don't know, like I just thought it would go with more if I got like the gray one. So, but I don't know, I'm really excited for that to come in. They allegedly take like a couple weeks to ship things out, so like I'll let you guys know when I get it. I'll probably wear it to record one day.
Probably.
I definitely
so
will. But yeah, like go look at their stuff. Like they have a lot of like social issue like related like sweatshirts and like stuff like that. They just have like really cute things. So if you're like kind of interested in something that like promotes a cause but is also like fashion forward, check them out. And also follow them on Instagram because they post really good content.
I love all the stuff they post.
Yeah, we repost a lot of their stuff on our like Love You Meet Instagram. But
yeah. But what I'm loving this week is a lot more lighthearted than what I'm hating. It's just desserts.
Yeah.
Just desserts.
Period.
But I don't know. It's just like...
Excuse me, I'm just going to like open
go
my
for it.
Truly.
No, I'm just going to talk. But in trying times like...
Sorry. I had to do it.
That's like the sound of like opening like a crisp Coke or something. But I don't know. Like, it's just... I don't know. It's just like during this time, obviously, like Meg said, like loungewear is really important, but especially like just desserts, they're just pretty great. I've been eating like dark chocolate peanut butter cups. Meg made brownies the other night. We had pumpkin bread for a while, banana bread, and after this, guys, I'm trying pumpkin coffee cake.
Yeah, there's a local orchard near us. It's called Lyman Orchards. If you're in like the like New England area or anything like that, you should definitely go because they have like a golf course. Like it's like such a cute. It's not even little. It's like huge. It's like a huge orchard, and they have like a variety of things. Like they have pumpkins, they have like peaches, like all these different fruits that you can like go pick, and obviously they have apples. But they have this like little market. And you can go and they like make all this stuff like fresh every day. And like, so I got apple cider donut holes. I got like kettle popcorn. Good. And then I got the pumpkin like coffee cake. And then I also got this like focaccia bread that's like literally this thick. And it looks so good. I can't wait to eat it. But yeah, so it like my boyfriend John and I went apple picking this weekend. And then we stopped by the store. And it's just so much fun. I was just like... love the little fall activities, especially this year because like we're not like going out to eat or like going to bars or like really doing much of anything. So like to be able to like go apple picking, like I really appreciated it. But yeah.
I did not appreciate that I couldn't go.
She was invited, but she could not go.
I know.
She had to work, but
just desserts in general, like having a nice dinner and then like sitting on the couch with like your friends, like / my roommates, and like just having a nice like peanut butter cup or like a nice slice of coffee cake like I'm about to have after this. It's just really great.
Or some like the other night when I made the brownies, I stopped by this local ice cream shop near us. It's Arethusa. It's a local farm up in Litchfield.
Crap, you guys.
And they make their own ice cream and it's fantastic. Again, if you guys are like in the area, you should definitely check them out. They also have a really cool like farm to table restaurant up in Litchfield. And then you can like go tour the farm and stuff and it's like absolutely beautiful. But we just have like the ice cream shop here and they also sell like artisanal cheeses and like all this stuff. But they have amazing ice cream. So I got coconut dark chocolate chip ice cream. And so like we scooped it on top of the brownie and it was so good.
It was amazing. Especially if you love coconut, like you would so love that. But even as someone that doesn't even like coconut that much, like I loved it.
I love coconut.
But I think without further ado, we're just going to get into the episode. But before we do, follow us on Instagram. Love You Meet a Pod. Ooh, oh my God, did you hear that?
Recipe.
Follow me on Instagram at me. Yeah, follow us.
Follow our personal account. No, just kidding.
Follow us on Instagram at Love You Mean It Podcast. You can support us in the link in the show notes down below. We don't require it, obviously, that anybody send us money, but I mean, it would be really appreciated because we're hoping to do merch giveaways in the future. Wink, wink. Definitely go to Apple Podcasts, give us a rating, 5 stars. Please don't give us 4 stars. If you listen to last week's episode, you know. And yeah, we're just gonna get into the topic. So, as Meg said, we're talking about hustle culture and just girl boss culture. And at first, before we got into the real topic, I wanted to talk about, like, Meg heard of it because she's on Twitter, but I don't know if any of you guys have heard of milkshake ducks before. Me
waiting for them to respond.
No, I was gonna say I just paused as if like everybody's gonna respond.
It's a rhetorical question.
But if you guys haven't heard of it, it's on Twitter, and basically it's something that seems like a really good thing. For example, like a duck drinking a milkshake, but then it turns out to be awful. So like the joke is like, oh look, like there's a duck drinking a milkshake, and then it's like 5 seconds later, and the duck is racist.
Yeah.
And so it's like just stuff like that like on the surface seems to be really great and seems to be like, I don't know, just like overall like a really dope thing, but it's really not.
Yeah, so that's kind of like how Erin and I view hustle culture and girl boss culture. They both seem like pretty empowering at first, like when you look at them, like, oh great, people are working hard, like they're being successful, but I think there's a lot more that comes with that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we kind of said earlier already, but I feel like Meg and I had a lot of the more controversial opinions.
Yeah.
That some people were like, oh my God, like, girl boss culture, I love it. And Meg and I were like, ugh.
No.
Like, it's just not something that, I hate when people say this, but something that I prescribe to. Like,
yeah.
It's just not something that's, like, appealing to me. Coming from somebody that used to be obsessed with girl boss culture and thought it was, like, so cool and was like, oh my God, all these girls hustling, but I'm not really that kind of person anymore. So
I literally never was.
No, I used to be like girl boss morning routines and like being a girl boss, and like I had like
did you have a mug?
Oh God, no.
Oh my God, those make me cringe.
I had like the girl boss book from like Sophia Amoruso, you know? But I thought I would share a definition of what is hustle. I thought I would share a definition about what is hustle culture. So, quote, in a nutshell, hustle culture, as the name also implies, means constant working. It means devoting as much of your day as possible working, hustling. There's no time out or no time in at work. Work is done in the office, outside the office, at home, at coffee shops, anywhere, and in a world constantly on the go and equipped with the tools to achieve that. Working constantly on the go is very possible. Unquote.
Baby, there's such a thing called work-life balance.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such an unhealthy mindset. I don't know. We'll get into that more.
No, but I totally agree with you because, like, even just reading that exhausted me, thinking about, like,
that's a red flag. Like, there's literally, like, 8 red flags in there that someone's, like, not mentally well. Like, if you're doing those things, you are not mentally well. Like,
obviously, there's a difference in jobs. So, like an ick factor, entrepreneur.
Oh my God, no.
and like,
that's like literally what a girl boss is like an entrepreneur. No. That's at least what I think of.
But like an entrepreneur and like a doctor or something would be different. Like an entrepreneur could work anywhere. It would probably be more prone to hustle culture, like always on their phone. Like I feel like a lot, kind of a tangent really quick, is that like I've seen a lot of people talk about recently, especially during the pandemic and working from home, is people's screen times.
Yeah.
So people have been like, oh, my screen time is like 12 hours. And I'm like, holy crap.
I think the highest mine was like 6 maybe.
I was going to say mine was like, I think it was like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
and it's like
around there.
It's now roughly like 4 hours, which is still ridiculous. But like, it's kind of like my screen time is shared with my phone and my computer.
Yeah.
So it's like, it counts like when I'm editing or something, or like if I'm texting. But like I know that I spend an awful lot of time on Instagram for somebody, like it makes more sense for you to.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time on Instagram.
But for someone who doesn't run like a business account, like Meg runs our account, like I don't really have an excuse to, be on Instagram so much. And
that's the only social media you have though.
Okay.
So
yeah, true. Like I don't have Twitter.
I diversify. I only do I almost said Snapchat. Oh my God, excuse me. I only do Instagram and Twitter, so I don't use Facebook or anything like that. So
yeah, I have Facebook, but even today, I've heard about that. documentary on Netflix, The Social Dilemma, but I don't want to watch it. Have you heard about that?
No.
It's basically like the creators of like all of the social media apps like get together and they did this documentary about like how they get you to be addicted to your phone.
Ew.
And like I haven't seen it because I'm really terrified and I really don't want to watch it, but this girl that I watch on YouTube, Claudia Salewski, she did a vlog and she was talking about how she watched it. And there's like this one part when they talk about how like they time how long you look at a photo for, and then they base your ads partially like around that. So they're like recording your activity.
That's so creepy.
And like apparently the documentary was like really scary and eye-opening, but they didn't even dip their toe into like how your phone like listens to you.
Ew.
And so they were like, she was like, I thought it was really good. I'd give it like an 8 out of 10, but like I feel like they didn't even like scratch the surface. Because, like, you think about it. I was talking about OnlyFans.
I mean, they might not be able to.
I know,
There
right?
might be under, like, legal
Like, I was talking about OnlyFans yesterday.
Yeah.
And I got an ad for OnlyFans. And I was like...
That's definitely a thing. You just, like, talking and then you get an ad for something.
I don't go on OnlyFans, guys. Like,
I know. She doesn't have one.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. But, like...
No, but why would you, like, if you don't have one,
but
you know?
It's just so scary to think about. Even, like, the people that do, kind of, like, getting back to the topic, like, the people that do social media for a living, like, how much time they must spend on their laptops and, like, their phones, their cameras, whatever. But I also found this article, which I guess we could just talk, like, in general, because we all know, like, how hustle culture is, like, just harmful for everybody in general. We're going to be sharing, like, a bunch of the things that you guys sent in and ideas, opinions, and Meg's going to be sharing, like, all of that and the statistics that we had from, like, asking you guys different poll questions. But kind of something that somebody else said in one of the DMs they sent in was that, like, it's like the article and them kind of overlap, is that it's like a race that you'll never win. Because you're just going and going and going and going, but there's no end sight.
Yeah.
Like, what are you even hustling towards?
What's your what's your, like, overall, like, goal?
Like, I guess you're hustling towards, like, making money. But I feel like for some people, it's not even really the money aspect. It's more just, like, the addiction to work.
Well, it's, like, also, if your, like, main goal is to make money, like, how much money, like, would you have to make in order to feel successful? I feel like if you have that mindset, you'll never reach that goal.
No, but that's a really
If you have $1 million, you'll want 2 million. You know what I mean? It's just, like, always, like, more. And I think it's more, like, it should be more about, like, being content with, like, what you have. And, like, yeah, it's like, great to have goals. It's important. But, like, that shouldn't be your only motivation to, like, get out of bed in the morning.
No, for
like,
sure.
You should have other hobbies or reasons for being, instead of just, like, wanting to get up and grind.
No, but, like, that's...
Sorry, that's so cringy.
No, but, like, you just said it all. Like, I feel like it's really great to have work be something that you love. Like, love to work, not, like, live to work.
Yes, exactly.
But it's, like, I think it's great when it's like that, because I have so many friends that, like, are obsessed with their jobs, like, love it, and, like, they love working like that, especially when it comes to, like, content creators and stuff. But, I don't know, I think it is just, like, a tricky... it's just, like, a tricky, like, line to walk when it comes to, like, just, like, hustling and, like, being... I think it all just comes down to, like, we're just such an addictive culture.
Yeah.
And the fact that it is so difficult in, like, I know we have quite a large majority of, like, 1/4 of our listeners are from outside the U.S. So if you are listening from outside the U.S., hello. But within the U.S., it is quite difficult to work a living wage and still do, like, somewhat decent hours that you can still go home and have a family. Yeah,
exactly. And so, like, I think just U.S. culture in general has, like, really perpetuated hustle culture. It's kind of ingrained in us that, like, we have to work hard to get where we, like, want to be. So I think that really has an effect on us. But, like, I've talked about this in another episode before, but I did an exchange program, and I went to Spain, and, like, I stayed with a family, and, like, it was just so interesting to see the parallelism between, like, our two countries, because, like, he came to stay with me, and, like, in the morning, like, I would be like, okay, like, we have to go. Like, they start school so much later. They literally started at, like, 10 o'clock. My ass had to be in high school at, like, 7:25.
Yeah.
So, like, I had to be in my, like, chair in first period at 7:25, which is, like, fucking wild to think about.
Crazy.
So he, like, gets up. He's like, oh my God, like, what is going on? I like shove a coffee at him. He's like eating breakfast in the car. Like that's just like how we are. Like you literally wake up and you're like, okay, like what am I doing? Like, like you're so like stimulated. But then when I went there, I found myself like almost getting bored because I was like, I have all this time and like I feel like I should be doing something, but I'm not. And like I said, it was just opposite. Like they start school late and then like they have a siesta and they go home for like 2 to 3 hours a day, eat lunch with their families, like take a nap, like just relax. We don't have that. A lot of people eat, like work through their lunch break. They don't even take it off. And then like you work late hours and then like it's just like wild. And like they sit down and they have like 5-hour meals and they just sit and like talk and like here we get pissed if we have to wait 20 minutes for our food. Like it's just like
spitting this fire.
No, it's just crazy like the difference in like how we live, and they're so much less stressed than we are.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the amount of like anxiety and like depression that like Americans have is like so crazy.
It's absurd.
And like that's why all these other things are happening. I think it's just because like we're literally working ourselves to death.
No, and
like we literally don't care about mental health as a society. So it's just like a never-ending cycle, and then people just like it just can't. It's not sustainable. No, like you just can't do it.
And like I saw this post today that said that like in August, like more people died of suicide than of COVID.
Yeah.
And I feel like obviously a lot of it comes down to like economic factors and different things like that. But I think overall, like a lot of it is probably due to the lifestyle change and losing the hustle.
Yeah.
And being just forced to like sit by yourself and like literally with your thoughts at home. Yeah. Like I most realized that like it hits me necessarily like it's been like 6 months and I'm still not 100% used to it.
Yeah.
Like Monday through Wednesday when Meg and her boyfriend are both at work for 8 hours and I'm just like in the apartment by myself and I'm like like what to do, like what am I gonna do?
You get
today?
bored and like you can't like just go anywhere. Like there are only certain things that you can do and certain things you feel comfortable doing.
But I thought you made like a great point about just like being like people being able not sorry but I thought you made a great point about like people not being able to just like sit still. And in our article, the first sentence is the 17th century French mathematician and philosopher Blaise Pascal said that all of humanity's problems stems from man. Sorry, I'm gonna read that again. Okay, I'm not even drinking a drink.
Really, just try it.
But the first sentence of the article, it says, the 17th century French mathematician and philosopher Blaise Pascal said that all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. It's
That's
true.
so accurate. It is. Like, I just feel like, especially Americans, like, we always feel like we have to be doing something. Like, I also had to do, like, another... I had to do like a psychology project for school where like you literally like couldn't look at your phone, and like if you did you had to like tally how many times you went to check your phone. I literally checked my phone like 300 times a day. Just like whether it's like the time or like someone texts you, like it's crazy how much we check our phones, and we do that when we have idle time. So if there's like time when you're not being stimulated and there's like 5 seconds where you can sit there and then you're like, okay, I need to go on my phone. And, like, it's just crazy that it's come to that. And, like, when you can't, like, go on your phone, you go, like, crazy.
I know. Like, I look at, like, weird to talk about it. I look at my screen time, like, all the time. And you can physically see your pickups for hour. And it makes me feel better, I guess, that, like, most of my pickups are from somebody texting me and I'm, like, talking to them. But for a while, like, a majority of my pickups were from Instagram notifications. And I don't even know if you know this, but my Instagram notifications are off. So, like, if somebody likes my photo or tags me in a photo, like... I don't physically see unless I go onto Instagram because I've realized that I pick up my phone. Like it was like 100 pickups a day just to go, and it says like directly what app you go to, and it was Instagram. And I was like, I have nothing to even say, post, look at, anything. Yeah,
so I think it's just crazy like how on the go we are, and like I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to work hard, but I think there's a difference between like working hard and then just only working. Like you need to do other things. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of the relationships in your life. And it's not all about the work. Like you're not like born to pay bills and work. Like you're born to live. So yes, it's important to have career aspirations and stuff like that, but there's a line that needs to be drawn, and I don't think that like people promoting hustle culture is a healthy thing to do.
No. But I'm going to get into a few more of like the actual like physical ways that hustle culture affects your health. So shout out to y'all that voted in the poll and said that they like hustle culture and that they love it. This is a shout out to y'all. But I'm going to share a little bit about this, and then I'm going to give you guys a definition of girl boss culture, and then we're going to get into how Meg and I feel about it.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm going to read a few more things. So kind of something that I've heard of it before, but stoicism,
yeah,
you know, and how it teaches that unhappiness, negative emotions, and much of what we would consider today as stress, they believe are not inflicted on they believe they are inflicted on us by external circumstances and events, but are actually the result of the judgments and expectations that we've made about the external world. So like we're saying that the world needs to be like hustling and busy and doing all this stuff, and that's where like the stress comes from. It's not necessarily like them putting it on us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But we compete with everyone, especially ourselves, to work harder, faster, and more because we think it's expected of us, and that ultimately it will make us more successful and happier. Yet that's not what it's doing at all. But if the nonstop work isn't making us happier, then why are we doing it? For some people, it's all about FOMO, or the fear of missing out, which I feel like that's something that drives like everything I do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely, obviously, like, I'm not grateful for the pandemic, and I'm not grateful for COVID, but it's definitely something that made me realize is that, like, I feel like I've almost, like, lost my FOMO, and because I used to have it so bad, like, anybody would do anything, and I was like, oh my god, I have to be there, but I feel like now, like, just really being by yourself, you realize that, like, what am I even missing out on? Like, I'm having fun with myself.
And nobody's really doing anything anyway.
No,
and if you are, then stop.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Me looking at you, like, I'm like, stop it.
Hey.
Cut that shit out.
America is in many senses a land of opportunity. There are so many opportunities out there, it's easy to feel that at any moment you're missing out. Not only that, but a lot of people genuinely enjoy what they do for a living, like we said, or as side hustles. But the problem is that they have a lot of different projects. It can make it very difficult to mentally justify doing something that isn't productively focused, which is true. Like, I make a to-do list even for, like, the weekends.
Oh, I don't do that. I never make to-do lists.
And I'm like, oh, I have to make my bed. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. Along the same lines, this need for constant productivity sometimes makes people feel pressure to turn every hobby into a side hustle, which is part of our culture of making everything into a capitalist pursuit. Which I think makes sense, because sometimes you do stuff and you're like, oh my god, I could like turn this into
I'm really good at this.
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like, I can make this a job, but it's like, oh, what if you just like to do it? If you chat with your neighbor for 10 minutes, it can be easy to fall into a trap of thinking, this just cost me a certain dollar amount, especially for freelancers or others who are self-employed. Moreover, the hustle is overall just hurting us. In short, every aspect of our lives, our mental and physical health, our relationships, our success in and out of work suffers. The way to reverse this is to practice self-care. We love talking about that.
That's literally me. I'm a Taurus. That's my shit.
So by real self-care, they really mean like not Instagram-ready baths or feeling as though you need to treat yourself to a nice pair of slippers. We're talking putting the time, effort, and work into making sure you get enough sleep, movement, and healthy foods. But when you're hustling, that is much easier said than done. And then I'll kind of wrap it up a little bit, but by being always on, we lose the capacity to be mindful of the present moment, which is linked to greater psychological well-being, which is so true because you get so wrapped up in like the future and like working and like when you're going to work next that you almost lose sight of the present moment that you're in, and you're missing out on so many things. Yeah,
like I think some people like they have a goal and that's like all they do is like focus on that goal and like work towards that goal. And like that's great. Like it's like I said, it's great to have goals, but when you're not living in the present and you're not like aware of what's going on and stuff, you're gonna miss out on things. And like the sad thing is you might not even realize that you're missing out because you're so involved in yourself.
Yeah, no, and I'm like it wasn't in this article, but when I was like kind of doing research for the polls, I found this article that obviously like the constant grind, the constant hustle, it raises your cortisol, and then like having these extended periods of cortisol and having that raise severely affects like every aspect of you. It like does not help with anxiety. It does not help with other physical ailments that you may already have.
You can gain weight. You can you like your blood pressure. You can have like a literal heart attack or stroke.
It's scary.
Yeah, there's a lot of conditions that come with that. So you just got to make sure your stress levels are down. It's not always about the hustle. Like I think if you set certain times to be productive, like if it's literally like 9 to 5 from when you go to work to when you end work, you're working really hard during those times. I think like short bursts of working is like the best way to work. Because like you get the most done, but you're not like working yourself to death.
No,
it's just like you're doing what you need to do, you're doing what needs to be done, but you're stopping at some point and then saying like, okay, I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
I think we need to learn how to just like cut ourselves off, and especially now because people like a lot of people are working from home. So like a lot of people I've talked to have said that they've been working actually more because their commute times are down and like they're not like doing as much socially. So they're like, oh, like I could be working, I might as well be. But like I don't always think, unless you like really want to do it and you like enjoy what you're doing, like I think then you can do it. But if it's like if you feel pressured or you're putting the pressure on yourself, then I think that's when it becomes a negative thing.
No, and I think even too, Meg caught us on this like a few months ago, but kind of getting lost in the hustle culture when it comes to our own podcast, which it sounds kind of dumb, but like when you think about it, like there was like a maybe a month period where we were uploading like consistently 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
On top of like doing like a bunch of other stuff too. And Meg was like, sis, what are we doing?
Yeah,
And
I was like, we don't have to put this pressure on ourselves to put 2 episodes out a week. It's already a lot to do one. There's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes. And I was like, I love doing bonus episodes, but like I don't want to feel pressure to put one out. And like I don't want to like just keep cranking out episodes but like lose the quality of it. I want it to be like quality over quantity.
Yeah, so like for example, this week, the episode that you're watching and listening to right now, we genuinely wanted to do it and the topic was interesting, so here we are recording it and you guys were excited too. But I think it's important to also remember that this is a hobby. Yes, we do make like literal pocket change from it, but it's still at the end of the day is something that like brings us joy and like forces us like on point to spend time together.
Yeah.
And so like it's something that we like to do for fun. And if I mean we've posted consistently every single week, but a few months ago we skipped a week because this isn't our full-time job. This is a hobby for us and we were not doing well, and so we took off a week. And I think it's important to do that when you know that you need it.
Yeah, I think taking time off, it's humbling, but like you need to do it.
But I think we need to talk about girl boss culture. So I'm going to give a definition of girl boss. The first time I heard the term girl boss really was from Sophia Amoruso. She founded Nasty Gal, the clothing brand, but she has a podcast now too called The Girl Boss Radio, I think. But the definition of girl boss she gave is a girl boss is somebody who has big dreams and is willing to work hard for them. So being a girl boss is really about being the boss of your own life. You don't have to be the boss of anyone else to be a girl boss. But I thought it would be funny to read the Urban Dictionary definition of girl boss and then talk about like our opinions of everything. So they said girl YouTubers and bloggers who get something for free. Girl YouTubers and bloggers who get something for nothing by being all, quote, girl boss and contacting brands for freebies. And then, you know, they give you, like, the example. And it's like, I've been so busy being a girl boss. I've been emailing Dior/hotels/wedding dress suppliers all morning.
Okay. That's so accurate.
So when, I don't know about you, but when I think girl boss, we kind of talked about this before. We think MLMs.
Yeah, like pretty much like every person that I know that like uses the term girl boss with their chest is like in an MLM, or they're just like an entrepreneur or something. Like I just feel like it's a certain type of person that like uses that word or that phrase. I personally think it's very cringy, and like it's just I think it's almost misogynistic in a way, because like I am a huge feminist. I love when women are working. Like I love that. Like I'm so proud of like each and every one of you for like working hard and like working towards your goals. But like I think when you put the term girl in front of boss, you're perpetuating that usually men are bosses.
Yeah. So
I think like if you're gonna use that term and you like that mentality, just say you're a boss. Don't say you're a girl boss.
Yeah, because I feel like it's just literally just what you're saying. Like it like belittles it in a way.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's just what you're doing. Like you're just being a boss. You're just out there.
Yeah, like bring back like when people used to say like 10 years ago, like, oh, that's boss, or like, oh, I'm a boss, or whatever. Like just say that instead of saying girl boss, because like I just feel like it's not helping like other women. It's not like, you might think it's empowering, but it's really belittling.
Mm-hmm.
you're like just stigmatizing like women being in like leadership roles. And I think it should just be like you powering forward and like being inspirational to other women instead of just like perpetuating the sexism in like with women in business.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I just like, I already said it earlier about like, I used to watch like YouTube channel like Girl Boss morning routines, and like I read the book Girl Boss and I was like, oh my god, it's like so cool. But I feel like it's being used now as rather like inspiration. It's being used as like a marketing ploy.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I feel like it's almost to the extent as like totally completely different, but in the same way as when like when like large corporations will do like make their logo rainbow for Pride Month.
Yeah.
And it's like
what are your real motivations for
it's like
doing
you really
that?
just want to sell more products. Like you're not really out here being like, oh, I want to like support girls' education.
Yeah.
Like Goran Gosa Coffee, they're out here supporting, like doing 100% of their proceeds to girls' education, but they're not out here being a girl boss company. Like they're just a boss company. It's just dope.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think you should be careful when you use that term, especially like in front of younger girls too. I think we want to just make it like a gender neutral term rather than stressing the fact that you're a girl. Mm-hmm. It should just be you're a boss.
Well, that's a good point too, especially with like, I don't know, just with the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah.
Like there are so many different ways that people identify, and like, I don't know, what are you gonna say, like non-binary boss? Like
yeah, like just say
you're
a boss. It applies to everyone. And personally, like I think that's more empowering than saying girl boss. Like just saying you're a boss, like, oh, you're a boss of everybody. Like when you say girl boss, I just feel like you lose all credibility.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like you're trying to sell me something. I feel like
you're
not actually a boss of anyone.
I
like,
just think of MLMs.
I don't know. It's just
LuLaRoe being like, come on, you can be our top supplier and come on our yacht.
Yeah, like it just sounds like complete bullshit to me. I think it's good to be like entrepreneurial and like all that stuff, but like don't do it at the expense of like feminists. Yeah. I don't know.
Would you like to share some of the opinions and like the statistics we got on the Instagram?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I'll read you guys the questions that we received. Just give me one second.
Looks so dope.
It looks really cool. I just updated to iOS 14 and I got some widgets, y'all.
You should do a video about how to do that.
I mean, like I feel like a lot of people
have
already done it. I've seen like a lot of people on Twitter like posting their like aesthetic that they're doing, and like mine's not that like aesthetically pleasing yet. I'm like still working on it.
Yeah.
But
I just saw people post to YouTube and they're like, oh, how to get your widgets.
Yeah, that's like exactly like I literally looked it up on Twitter, like how to do it. Okay, so the first question we asked was, how do you feel about the term girl boss? 69% of you said positive and 31% of you said negative, which I thought was very interesting. I thought it would be like more negative.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, I guess we'll share what we said as well. I said negative.
Yeah, I also said negative.
Yeah.
How do you feel about hustle culture? 19% of you said love it, and then 81% of you said hate it. I agree with this. I also said hate it.
It's just I don't know. It's just exhausting.
We also asked, what are your thoughts or feelings or opinions on the topic? So, wow, we got a lot of responses.
Yeah.
Hold on. Someone said hustle culture is toxic, fosters a culture of negative competitiveness. Get your bag, but don't brag. That one was me. Sorry.
That one was no, but I love that one though.
Yeah, it's just like, I think there's something about like also like being successful, but like being humble. And like if you're really that successful, you won't need to tell people how successful you are. Like people would just notice that. Okay, hustle culture can come across quite negative, especially in your 20s due to pressure. That's huge, because I feel like if you don't have your life figured out or anything like that, or like maybe like you didn't get a job right after college or something like that, like you feel like you're a piece of shit. And that's literally, it's not you. It's like literally you putting the pressure on yourself. Like it's not anything you're doing wrong. It's like society, and like we're just constantly comparing ourselves to other people, especially like our peers. And like why? Like for what? Like we really don't need to be, like everyone's life is different. Everyone has like different circumstances and stuff. So like not everyone's life is going to turn out the same. So it's just honestly ridiculous that we do that. But it's easier said than done. So I do it too. Someone said, oh, work hard, play hard, but shouldn't have to wear yourself out.
Which is true.
I don't know. And then someone said, love working hard, but hate that I'm always probably behind. That's like kind of what we just talked about. The pressure to be a strong, independent woman all the time is draining. Yeah, I think there's real strength in like being vulnerable and like telling people that like you need help or that you need a second to yourself. So I think we need to normalize that instead of just always acting like everything's fine and that like you're capable and can handle all this shit when actually sometimes it's really crushing.
I think it just takes a lot of confidence and a lot of bravery to be like, I need a break, or like I need somebody to help me with this. Like,
yeah,
I don't really realize.
Yeah, but I think again we need to normalize that and just make it, because like then you just get so overwhelmed and then you just get burnt out and it's not good for anybody. There needs to be a balance, or at least, okay, I'm just going to skip that one because it doesn't make sense. Hold on, let me read the longer ones.
Oh, so if you go to our actual DMs,
yeah.
those were there.
Hold on. Just give me a second. Sorry, future Aaron.
No, you're good.
I was talking to future Aaron.
Oh, hi, future Aaron. You're really cute.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna read that one.
Ariel's, did you read hers?
Yeah, I did.
She literally went off.
Another one, like one of the better like paragraphs that we got was, I'm all about empowering women and people in general to feel confident in their careers and independence. However, the mindset of the grind, don't stop, etc. is so toxic when you start trying to force people to value work more than other things. There's nothing wrong with valuing family and loved ones / self-care, and it shouldn't be seen as lazy to do so. Everyone has the right to prioritize and value aspects of their life in whatever way suits them, but the idea that someone is lazy or worthless because they want to work part-time and be a mom or do something of the sort is unfair to me. Do whatever makes you happy, whether it's working overtime every week or staying at home. Also, I've seen a pattern of people with this hustler mindset to end up being burnout, always complaining or victimizing themselves for attention and validation, and that's not cute. Take a bath, baby.
I love that. That was one of like the first ones we got. If you guys follow
that
us on
was
Instagram,
like a mic drop.
I posted like the whole thing with it like crossed out because I wanted to read it on here, but it was just so good, and it was like exactly
like everything that we like wanted to say. It was put in that paragraph
because it's important. And Meg's gonna share that she's pulling up the rest of the polls, but I don't know. I just think it is so important, of course, to value work and to value like having hobbies and interests outside of like yourself, but I also don't think that it's the end all be all to have that be like your life and like the only thing that you have not going for you, I guess, but like the only thing that you are like passionate about.
So this is in reference to hustle culture. We said, do you think that mindset is harmful? 89% of you said yes and 11% said no. And I think that was the last question. No, oh, wait. And then the last question is, do you believe work-life balance exists? 68% of you said yes and 32% of you said no.
I will admit I was shocked about that one because like I voted no for that one.
I don't think it exists.
Because I think that at times like there can be a time when like it's more even, but I just think, well, like obviously all these questions are based on our personal experience, but personally for me, like there'll be a time where I'm posting like super often on like YouTube, or like a time when I'm like applying to a lot of jobs, or there'll be a time when I'm super social, and obviously like the past 6 months or so have been super like focused on like yourself, but like I think it's really difficult to have like a really healthy, successful work-life balance. If you want to hear us talk about that, we talked about that with Lindsay Ram last week, well 2 weeks ago at this point, but that she also agreed that she doesn't really think that it exists. You can constantly be working on it and trying your best to attain it, but I don't really think it's achievable.
I think like the way our society, like I'm talking about like American society, is set up, like you're literally like set up to fail. Because if you look at our typical workday, it's 9 to 5, 5 days a week. How can you have a balance when you're gone at like 9 in the morning? You don't come home till dinner time. That's not balance. You're not caring about yourself. You have like what, 5 hours to yourself a day?
Yeah.
5 days a week? And then
we work like 8 to 4, and I can't even imagine like coming home and having a family. Like I come home and I like want to die, and I can barely care for myself.
No, it's exhausting. And like you have so many different responsibilities and like bills and all this shit on top of like this pandemic. It's like, how the hell are you supposed to care about yourself? They give us 2 days off a week, And then one of them is spent completely terrified for the week ahead. I don't know if you've heard of Sunday Scaries, but those are very real. Mm-hmm. Whether it's like you're concerned about school or work or both. Like, our society is literally meant to like run you into the ground. That's like how it's set up. And so like if you're not actively like making time for yourself each day, you're gonna feel burnt out. You're gonna feel tired. You're gonna be miserable. And I think that's just like the reality of our life now.
No, so like I don't know. I think you're literally just spitting this fire, but she's right. Like, you're literally set up to have this life where you're completely out of balance because you might be working a lot, but then like you're working and then you need to get 8 hours of sleep so that you can work, so then you can't see your friends, so then you feel antisocial, but then you go out and see your friends and then you're tired and then you like don't have enough time to make yourself meals, and then you eat out and then you spend money and then you need to hustle to make that alleged money, and it's
just like terrible. Like I feel like I never like have enough time to like be with my family.
Yeah.
Because I'm either like with my friends, my boyfriend, or I'm working. So like it's just like it just never works. Like I feel like I always feel like I'm running myself thin, and I always feel like I'm spreading myself thin, and like I'm never doing like 100% across the board. I'm doing like 60 in like every area. Like I just doesn't. But like it's physically impossible to like. There aren't enough hours in the day. There literally aren't.
I wish we had like 48 or something.
And like even if you don't work a traditional 9 to 5, if you're a freelancer, chances are you probably work more than 9 to 5.
For sure.
If you are like a service worker or you're in retail or anything like that, your hours are shit. You're gonna have to work weekends when everyone else is off.
I mean,
how are you supposed to socialize when you're working and everyone else is hanging out doing shit?
Like, I feel like right now is when I'm experiencing, like, what it must be like to have, like, a significant other and, like, have them be on a separate schedule when it comes to Meg, which is funny, but it's, like...
It's hard.
We work part-time, but we work completely opposite schedules, so Meg works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I work Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. I think the schedules are, like, switching up now, so it might be a little bit different, but it's so... It honestly just fucking sucks, because it's, like, last week we did an episode, it's now up at this point, but it's coming up this upcoming Monday. But we did an episode with Bryn, who is a therapist, and we had to record the episode on a Monday night at 8 p.m. because that was the only time that we could do it, because like we couldn't do Friday because we were busy and like we're working, and like we're working part-time, but Meg works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so I don't see her at all. And then like Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't see her at all because I'm working. And then there's like one day when we're both off. But like Meg just said, she might be with her family. She might be with her boyfriend. Like, it's just impossible.
It just doesn't work. Like, I maybe see Aaron for like maybe max like 3 hours every day.
That's why I'm just so glad that we had this podcast.
And we lived together. We literally live. It's not just. I was
thinking about this today. I was.
We live together, and I see her maybe 3 hours a day.
I can't even imagine. Like, I mean, obviously with the pandemic, it's a lot different. But it's like we have a friend Ariel who's like pretty much the only one that we really see outside of the two of us, and I haven't seen her in 2.5 weeks. And it's like it's just crazy because it's like. Meg and I live together, and the amount that I still don't even, like, really see her that much. And it's, like, crazy to think that, like, I don't know. It's just crazy to think about all of that and how little we see each other.
It just, like, really woke me up, like, when I did, like, go abroad, just because it just, like, made me realize, like, how stupid and, like, superficial our lives are.
Hold on, I have to cough. I went down the wrong pipe.
It just made me realize, like, how stupid and, like, superficial our lives are. Like, I feel like we're just all wrong. Like, we don't value family. We don't value, like, just our significant others or even ourselves. And it's just, like, it's really sad. Like, I found myself just being like, wow, like, I wish that I could live in a place like this, just because I feel like people are taking care of themselves and they're actually stopping and realizing like what is truly important in life. Because like I feel like if you don't value that, if you only value work and say like you get fired from your job or like this pandemic you can't work maybe, what do you have left? Like that's probably why people are so depressed, because they neglected so many other aspects of their lives, like their relationships or their kids or their hobbies or like literally anything like that. And then when it all stops, what
Like,
are you
what do you
left with?
I know, like, that's kind of what I was thinking to myself today. Like, I was sitting at the table and I was thinking kind of about how I was a little, I was going to say I was down, but I literally wasn't even down. But I was thinking about how you guys went, like, apple picking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about, like, work and stuff. And, like, I don't know. I was just like, shit. Like, obviously I'm working and, like, I need to pay rent and, like, live my life. But it's, like, it's just sad to, like, think back and you're, like, I think back and, like, when I would work, like, 60-hour weeks at, like, a restaurant when I was, like, in high school and, like, early college. And I'm like, what did I even do during the summer other than just work?
Yeah, and, like, that's the sad part because that's, like, some of the best times of your life is, like, when you're younger and, like, you don't have kids and maybe you're single or it's, like, you just have less responsibility and we just, like, piss it away working, like, getting summer jobs. Like, yes, it's important to, like, work and, like, have money, but, like, I just feel like we stress it so much. Like, I can't tell you, like, how many of my friends' parents, like, in high school were like, you have to get a job. Mm-hmm. Like, how are they supposed to get one with, like, zero experience? Like, Seriously. They literally applied to, like, 50 places and no one would hire them because they had zero experience. And, like, but their parents, like, literally made them find a job. And it's like for what? Like, you could literally just give them like $40. Like, whatever happened to allowances? Like, I feel like people don't do that anymore.
No, I just feel like it just becomes something to brag about. Like, I feel like even when I was younger, I was like, oh my God, like, I have my job and, like, I pay for everything myself and, like, all this stuff. And, like, I don't know. I know my dad's not listening to this, so shout out to Mike. But the other day, like, I went over to my parents' house for dinner and my dad was like, oh my God, I got my time card this week and I worked 25 hours overtime. And I was like...
That's a lot. That's a whole day.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
I was like, collectively, it was like 25 to 30. And I was like, good for you, I guess. But I'm like, why?
Yeah, no, people do brag. Like, they're like, like in college, people would be like, oh, I have to do this. I have to write this paper. I have, like, a sorority meeting. I have to do, like, all this shit. And I'm like... Okay, why are you telling me about it? Why aren't you just doing it?
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to, like, say congratulations for working hard?
Yeah.
Like,
I
when
remember...
when you chose to do all this shit and then you're stressed out by it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel sorry for you at that point. If you're choosing to do all this stuff and it's literally too much for you, then take a step back.
I know, like I said to an old friend of ours, like, a few years ago, and she had, like, went to class and had, like, a bunch of stuff to do, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym, and she was like, oh, I wish I had time for that. She was like, oh, I wish I had that time. And
you
I was
do.
Like, you do.
You do have time.
Like, you're the one making
You're the one
schedule.
choosing to, like, join all these, like, clubs and shit that, like, probably aren't really gonna get you anywhere. They're just resume fillers.
So, I don't know. I just think hustle culture is toxic, clearly bad for your mental health, toxic to, like, your literal body.
Yeah, it's just not good for your stress. It's not good for sleeping. It's not good for, like, your emotional health either. You just, you really can't, like, we already, like, so much of our lives already revolve around work. You need to actively make sure you're thinking and doing things that aren't about your job.
And I think, like Meg said, I think one of the most important things, though Meg said a lot of great things, I think one of the most important things she said is that, like, at the end of this all, like, especially with COVID and everything, and we're all realizing, like, how short, like, life really is and how, like, it can really just be gone in a blink of an eye. Like, at the end of it all, like, what do you have? Like, I think it matters, like, the relationships that you have or, like, the friendships that you have, or even if you have that job that you love and, like, that brings you joy and you have, like, friends from that and that brings you a sense of satisfaction, like, I don't know, but just, like, making sure that you have things around you that are valuable and that, like, mean a lot to you and not just doing it to look like you're hustling. Like, even when it comes to, like, my YouTube channel and I'll post, like, I'll vlog one day and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not really doing anything. Like, I'm not that productive. I'm like, you don't really need to be showing off all the time that you're, like, grinding and, like, doing the hustle and everything. When I say do the hustle, sounds like, do the shuffle.
Oh my God.
I don't know. But we really hope that you guys enjoy this episode regardless.
Yeah, and this is just, like, something to leave you guys with. This is kind of dumb because I don't remember the name of the book. But for one of my psychology classes, I had to read this book. I'm going to find it for you guys because I'm going to remember at, like, 2 a.m. and, like, whatever. It'll be annoying. But we'll put it in the episode, like, description. But it's basically, like, a book about, like, people interviewing, like, others that are in hospice. So it's, like, people on their deathbeds that are, like, have really terminal illness that are going to die. and they ask them like what advice they have for others, and like so many people, like the number one answer was that I wish I didn't work so much. I wish I didn't work so hard. Like I wish that I had spent more time with my family, more time with my partner, more time with my kids. And like it's just so sad that like they're at the end of their lives and like that's what they're thinking about, that they work too hard.
Yeah.
So that's just something to think about. I'm gonna find the book. It was absolutely fantastic. It made me cry like 8 times, but I think it really just puts things in perspective.
Yeah, I'm gonna link down below too. There's also a book a little bit lighter than that. It's called To Hell with the Hustle, and I haven't read that before. I downloaded the sample off of like on like my Kindle, but I haven't read the actual book. But I heard that it's really good and really insightful. So we'll link both of those down below for you guys. But we really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram to see Meg's lovely content at Love You Mean It Podcast. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts, preferably 5 stars. And if it's not 5 stars, at least let us know why. And
I found the name of the book.
Yay!
It's called Final Gifts. And it's by, who's the author? It's by like a hospice worker, so it's really interesting. By Maggie Callahan.
Aww.
Or Maggie Callanan and Patricia Kelly.
Aw.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
So once again, that's called Final Gifts. Final Gifts, it's really important. Everyone needs to read it. Tell your friends about it. And also, like, if you feel like you're burnt out or maybe, like, you need to take a step back, maybe just give it a quick read. It might rejuvenate you. Yeah. Or just, like, do something that makes you happy. Make sure you set aside at least, like, an hour a day for yourself to do something that you like to do, whether that's painting your nails or doing a face mask or going on a run or like
watching a show you like,
playing video games, like literally doing anything you want to do. Just make sure that you do that.
But
take care of yourself. Take care. Oh my God. My truly has got to me.
I'm really drinking water and I'm like tripping over my
Just take care of yourselves though. That's what all Aunt Meg has to say.
Thank you. We love you guys so much. Queens. And we will talk to you on Monday with Bryn's episode. So stay tuned for our episode with a licensed therapist. Love you, mean it.
Love you, mean it.